Oke semua, kembali lagi bersama saya si Kira-Kerangka Tengkorak Gaming. Jadi pada siang hari ini saya akan memainkan sebuah game yang bernama Planet Zoo. Jadi sebelumnya saya berterima kasih kepada kalian yang sudah menonton dan kepada kalian yang sudah subscribe. Wait. Saya akan langsung mulai bermain gamenya. Oke, sebelum itu kita kasih hemat dulu. Oke, selamat datang buat para penonton yang nonton. Oke, kita langsung saja ke gamenya. Oke, jadi kita akan ke Indonesia. Surabaya, yes. Karir. Oh, tutorial medium. Kita ambil medium dulu lah untuk permulaan, masa ya langsung yang hard anjir. Start new, oke. Oke, seperti biasa, jangan lupa like, comment, dan subscribe. Kalau ada
A little longer than a few minutes later.
oh ini dia mulai.
Heyo at Hematu. Yeah. Sorry about that. I have a habit of slipping back into the Blanco language. It's good to finally meet you in person. I'm Bernard, although I insist you call me Bernie. The only person who calls me Bernard is my wife. And even then, only when I've tracked elephant dung into the carpets. As you know, I own several zoos, but I always like to show people the ropes here at my home. This is the first zoo I ever opened, and a source of great pride for me. And prides, thanks to a lion breeding program we ran in the 80s.
Jadi ini
But
kita
we're in the middle of a big renovation, and that's
jadi
where you come
ini
in.
ya, apa namanya,
Sadly, our
pendiri
old
kebun
contractor had to
binatang.
retire after
Oke.
developing a fur allergy. Poor
It's
devil kept
easy,
stealing his dentures into
I
the
don't
lion
know,
habitat.
maybe.
So, it's up to you to finish everything off. Don't worry though, I'm not completely throwing you out. And she'll expect you to be too. But I'm sure you'll get along like a house on fire. Even better, one that isn't on fire. Less shouting that way.
Oke, ini gimana?
Hello there. From that rosy, fresh face of yours, I'm guessing you're
Oh, ini
Bernie's new
basic.
hire. Good. Now, I hope you're ready to ditch your diploma because we're about to get really hands-on.
Wih,
But
belum
before
anjir,
we
baru
begin the real
dibaca.
work, how about we familiarize you with the zoo by learning how to fly around it and visiting some of our
Bukan dibeli
beautiful
di daerah
animals?
habitat.
We'll start
Ntar
by
gigi
popping
juga.
over and having a look-see at the grizzly bears in their habitat.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Mana tadi? Enggak, ini suruh ngapain, ini kan beruang. Ini beruang.
Did you know that grizzly bears, also known as Ursus arctos horribilis, can hibernate for up to 7 months a year? But then again, given the chance, I think a lot of people would do that too. Select one of the bears and you'll bring up its information panel.
Objektifnya apa? Gimana nih? Enter greasy bear animal kamera. Mana kamera? Gini, masa gini doang? Ini kan? Oke, ini masuk nih. Kamera mana sih? Ini. Oh, ini mau buat minum ya. Buat minum makan. Oke, oke. Oh, kameranya yang mana? Ini nggak bisa diputar apa? Aduh, oh ini loh. Harusnya sih ini. Oh ini loh basic control, rotate kamera. Oh, kalah gini tuh. Nah, gini loh kan
Wait.
Oke juga. Apa sih objektifnya anjir? Enter greasy bear animal kamera.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
At the bottom of its information panel.
Oh,
Wait.
See now, this is a fantastic way to get a
cinematic.
close look at animals. You can also get this view by simply double-clicking on it. Okay, when you're ready, let's pop over to the other side of the zoo and take a look at the lions. I've marked their location for you to find.
Wah, anjir jauh banget.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Panthera leo,
Loket
the
the
West African
empty
lion to you and
habit.
me. Lions are the most social of the big cats, and there can be as many as 40 lions in a pride, although prides of that size are pretty rare. As Bernie would say, those lions are awesome, which is precisely why I handle the training instead these days. Anyway,
Wait.
Loket the empty habitat. Wih, anjir jauhnya.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
as you can see, it's a lovely space for animals, but it's missing a certain something. Well, two somethings. Warthogs. So I'd like you to adopt a pair of them. To adopt animals, we need to open the animal market, which is in the animal trading section.
Oh, animal trading. Anjir, duit kita $180.000.
There we are, a pair of
Gokil.
perfectly splendid warthogs for our zoo. Just click on them and select Adopt from the side menu.
Inilah.
Normally, the animal exchange would be full of animals, but I've emptied out the market while you learn how it works. The last thing I need is you accidentally ordering a dozen elephants.
Send to zoo.
When you adopt an animal, it's automatically placed in the trade center where they're held until you're ready to move them into their habitat, which, as it happens, you are. So how about you move them into their new home?
Ya, udah. Adopt loket
When you
animal.
ask for an animal to be moved into a habitat, your caretakers will go to the trade center, collect your animal, and deliver them to your selected habitat. I've marked the trade center's location, so let's go and watch the caretakers in action.
Mana? Loket animal trade center di mana tuh? Mana anjir? Alangkah. Duh, salah aja lihat. Ini loh.
Well, adding that these warthogs are in the very...
Oh enggak.
Right, let's get the warthog's habitat finished up so
Anjir,
we can keep them
dilempar.
nice and happy. You see, each animal in the zoo has an overall welfare statistic, basically how happy they are. And that overall welfare statistic is itself comprised of 4 different areas: nutrition, social health, habitat, and enrichment. Luckily, if you select an animal, you'll bring up their animal welfare information panel, which we saw earlier, where you can see how they're doing. That way, you'll know exactly what areas need to be addressed. Don't worry if that's a lot to remember. You can always check the Zoopedia for more information.
Anjir. Ini suruh ngapain tapi lupa lagi.
Let's start
Mana
by
yang
making
nonton?
sure we're taking care of the warthog's nutrition
Press a
welfare.
feeding.
To do this, we'll need to
Press
place a food station and a drinking station. Now, each animal requires a different type of feeding station. And for the warthogs, it's a small feeding trough. So let's add one of those and a water bowl.
Di sinilah makanan. Udah. Habis itu minumnya di sini juga.
Animals also require stimulation to keep them happy. Let's add a lovely mud bath for the warthogs to roll around in. That bath will count towards their enrichment welfare, specifically their toy enrichment welfare.
Macbeth mana ini? Oh ini anjir $100 gitu. Macbeth tuh di sinilah.
Oh, nice work. You've got a knack for this, I see. Now, our contractor had to leave in a hurry, so this place is in a pharaoh state. Unfinished thingamajigs and whatsits all over the shop. But the first thing we need to finish is the ostrich habitat. It's over near the
Berbunta
hippos.
ostrich. Mana nih katanya dekat.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Before we actually start building our ostrich habitat, let's pause the game. Just click the pause button in the bottom right corner.
Paus nih.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Righty, your next job is to build a habitat from scratch. And concrete and glass, I expect. So go ahead and build it. Just make sure that the habitat includes that big hole we've dug. Oh, and don't forget to add a habitat gate to the barrier. Oh, and make sure the guests will be able to see the tigers.
Ini udah bisa melihat ini.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Bingung. Delete.
Now, Bernie takes safety very seriously at his zoos, so we should probably make sure those tigers can't jump out of their habitat, don't you think? The way we'll do it is by changing the height of the habitat's barrier. Okay then, you should start by double-clicking the habitat barrier, which will take you into barrier editing mode. Great. Now highlight the entire perimeter of the habitat. You can do that by clicking and dragging the barrier selection tool.
I don't think you have any idea how fast I really am. I'm fast as fuck, boy.
Okay, that's the habitat boundary complete, the habitat gate in place, and most importantly, the tigers won't be able to jump out of it anymore. I think it's time we adopted those tigers. Whilst our trusty caretakers collect and deliver the tigers, let's take a look at preparing the habitat for their arrival. We'll start with the basics. Add a suitable feeding station
Oke,
for
paham,
them.
paham, paham. Oke. Makan tuh di sini ya.
This time, instead of adding a water bowl, let's try something different. Some animals need a pool in their habitat so they can go for a swim, but they can also use it to drink from. All you have to do is make sure the banks of the pool have a gentle slope so they can easily get a nice, refreshing drink. There's already a pool excavated, but you still need to fill it with water. You should do that by going into terrain and selecting the water tool. Yes, that'll do nicely. Of course, just like the warthogs and ostriches, these tigers will also need some enrichment. Why don't you add some suitable toy and food enrichment items into their habitat?
Dua sama sini. Nah, di situ.
Okay, it's really starting to take shape. Now, the tigers will need a shelter in their habitat so they can hide from the guests, or more likely, the bad weather. Although, given that we're in England, you might want to think of that just as normal weather. Go on, add a shelter to their habitat. You can either build one from various suitable bits and bobs, or if you like, just pop down the blueprint that I've already built for you.
Susahnya kameranya ini anjir. Sini loh. Guru-guru ini sudah pukul. Ini bahaya banget kameranya. Ini kan enak. Udah apa lagi? Increase hard shelter wallpaper to 60%. Apa lagi? Ini. Masih nggak jalan duitnya.
Okay, it's really starting to take shape. Now, the tigers will need a shelter in their habitat so they can hide from the guests, or more likely, the bad weather. Although, given that we're in England, you might want to think of that just as normal weather. Go on, add a shelter to their habitat. You can either build one from various suitable bits and bobs, or if you like, just pop down the blueprint that I've already built for you. Oh, poor Dabs. I'm sure it can't have escaped your attention that the tigers look a bit miffed. That's because they aren't too keen on the type of terrain in their habitat. Select a tiger and bring up its information panel.
Select tiger.
Rightio, click on the terrain tab. That way you can view the terrain information and see how they feel about the different types of terrain. That'll tell you what the tigers need more of or less of in this habitat.
Increase saran udah nih, udah 100%.
Okay then, open the terrain editing tool, select painting, and give them some more soil. Yes, that should help with the habitat part of their welfare.
Gimana nambahin bobot tingginya? Terus short, terus di sini nih. Oh, need more berarti. More grass. Oke. Udah belum? Oh, singa berarti tiger tuh nggak suka. Gitu.
Right then. All animals need plants and trees from their own biome or continent. You know, deserts, savannas, or Asia, Europe, that sort of thing. It looks like these tigers need a few more plants in their habitat. To get a perfect fit, use plants from the rainforest and temperate biomes that are native to Asia. Although if you have to, you can get away with using just one or the other. The tigers will also want a certain amount of their habitat to be covered by those plants. To find out which plants to use and how many, select a tiger and go to the Environment tab. Now, as you can see, some of the plants currently in the habitat aren't quite right for the tiger, like the wattle bushes. You can remove them if you want. You can find all of the plants you need in the nature section, and you can use the filters to only show the types of plants you want to see. In this case, that's plants from the rainforest or temperate biomes.
Hawthorn sama waterbus. Oke. Apa ini? Apa sih ini? Hawthorn. Ini ya. Hawthorn. Oh ini dia. Waterbus. Kasih 3 dulu. Mau kebanyakan anjir. Maunya berapa dia anjir? Oh dia maunya berapa? Oh waterbus oceani. Delete. Oke. Oh waterbus nggak mau sama Hawthorn nggak mau. Udah tuh nggak ada. Kontinennya Eropa. Hawthorne. Udah apa lagi? Plan welfare tuh 90. Jadi maunya apa ya? Gila, kalau sampai 90 sih susah. Hawthorne aja lah, Hawthorne sama bunga-bunga. Gila kok nggak masuk akal. Oke.
They say that good fences make good neighbors. I guess that's doubly true when one of the neighbors is a Bengal tiger. Still, those tigers look so happy that I doubt they'd leave, even if you did poke a hole in their fence. Oh, but for heaven's sake, don't
Oke,
test that theory.
gitu ternyata. Oke,
Right, let's
terima
head over to the Indian
kasih.
peafowls.
Oke
I've been
guys,
told that we need to
mungkin
improve their
itu aja
social
yang bisa
welfare.
saya mainkan. Cukup lah udah. Udah berapa jam kita main? Udah 1 jam. Oke, mungkin itu saja yang bisa saya sampaikan. Kurang lebihnya mohon maaf. Kalau memang ada kekurangan, bisa saja ditulis di kolom komentar. Oke, itu saja. Kita lanjutkan kapan-kapan. Ingat, jika ada kekurangan bisa ditulis di kolom komentar. Jika ada saran bisa juga ditulis di kolom komentar. Oke, terima kasih. Saya akhiri. Dadah. Oke, sebelum kita pulang, kita kasih emot dulu. Iya. Oke, terima kasih guys. Bye-bye.